Hello, it's Lyndsay Allison back with another video. This one is called Minimalism and Decluttering and How We Can Make It Easy. So, what is the difference between a messy or cluttered home and a curated, organized, more minimal one? It's 1,000 tiny decisions and the follow-throughs on these little daily successes. It's the choice to do something right now instead of doing nothing, over and over again. Our cluttered areas are often a pile of unmade decisions, and the longer that we leave it for another day or another time, the bigger, more cumbersome, and less attractive that pile gets. And making decisions to let things go, it does take a lot of energy. However, the smaller and more often the decisions get made, the easier they are to make, and the better we get at making the big ones as they come up. Also, the thing about it is that once the tiny constant decisions start to become commonplace, it's not really hard work. It's just how we live. It's our way of life. And I think it helps to grow our confidence too. The willingness to let go of small things with the confidence that we will be fine is a lesson to ourselves that it will be okay as we let go of things that do not serve us. This morning I decided to throw out the yogurt container once it was empty. I don't need to wash it out and save it for leftovers because I have a glass container for my leftovers that works well. I decided to throw out my junk mail because I don't need the political flyer or the catalog or my bank statement. I don't allow myself to set the things that come into my home to the side in order to decide later what I know now. I know the answers now, so I follow through now. Also this morning, after 2 weeks on Kijiji, I decided finally to give the shoes that I had up there hoping to sell to donation. Clearly no one is interested in the heels that I spent good money on, including me. But in finally letting them go, I will get some of my space in the closet back. I am very clear that I will not need high heels in my life again. Good riddance. So I am happy to let them go and to step up and make the decision. And the longer we keep almost everything for the mere reason that we don't want to decide to let things go, the less the item's worth becomes, to us and to the world. These stifled, looming decisions may be worth their weight, but it's not in gold. The weight of these items pulls us and takes away our rightful clarity and our space. So why can it feel so hard to make these little daily decisions? Because in making them, we step into uncertainty and into a possible fear of making a mistake. What if I end up needing that container? It's possible that I could wish I had something tomorrow that I donated today. And as we get to the decisions on our more valuable possessions, like the shoes that I decided to give away, doesn't that make me a bit of a fool? It doesn't though. I bought and had them for the event that I wanted them for. And now, knowing that no one wants to buy them, and that they don't suit me or any foreseeable future of mine, it feels right to get rid of them. Would I be smarter or more frugal if I kept them in the closet for another 5 years or maybe 20? I don't believe so. And frankly, in giving them away, I take responsibility for my 5-year-old decision to buy fancy shoes for an event that lasted a few hours. And in taking responsibility for this action, and looking squarely at what I might consider today to be a less than sound judgment, I believe that I will be more careful in my future If there comes a time when I think that perhaps I should get something expensive that I will likely only need one time. But if we look away from it and hide it in the closet, we can't learn from it, and we certainly can't deal with it. The decisions to let things go force us to take responsibility for the things that we decide to spend our money on or to take into our home. They carve and create our convictions and respect for ourselves and for our things. They teach us to respect the act of acquiring something new, instead of treating it like it doesn't matter. Minimalism and effective decluttering live in these constant little decisions and follow-throughs. And they can slowly add up to an ordered and functional little life that we can all love. A life that fits us just right. And when our home and our things are settled and figured out, I think we are better able to witness and experience the magic that can pop up, and to see the tiny sparks, things from our peripheral that we may just want to explore, without all the stuff around us. To have the gift of our own space and possessions deserves a simple, mindful willingness to decide what we need and what we don't, every day. As the ever-changing beings that we are, the answer to these questions will evolve constantly, and so should we. When we hold on to our things out of fear, there's no space for curation and no end or finished. Only a filling space, and likely less calm than any of us deserve. Only a desire for more. We become the perfect consumer. And maybe the fear is always there, hovering, haunting, looming, daring us to make the wrong decision, to do something that we'll regret. What if we end up being wrong? What if we decluttered something and want it and don't have it when we do? Wouldn't it just be good to save it? Keep it in the hall closet or the shelf that we never go to, just in case? And so our closets fill, and we slowly start to live superficially upon our home, instead of within it. Our home and ourselves shrinking by the load of things we'll get to later. We so easily forget that what we should be coveting, what is the hardest to attain, and is filled with beauty and perspective, is the space between the things, not the things. And so, as you go on making those constant tiny decisions, you start to trust yourself more. Start to grow a confidence and a certainty in those choices. And it's not so bad to let go of possessions that no longer suit you as well as they did or may have in the past. And it's not so bad to say no to things that are offered to you or that entice you on first view. And that less may just be more. And that done is almost always better than not done. I think the most important thing about all this is that the more decisions about our things that we put off, the harder, messier, more tangled and undesirable the unmade decisions turn. It's like your fridge. Not only do the things add up as you leave them to their own degenerating devices, but also they get smellier and harder to deal with. It's like there's just not enough room to take care of them. So you close your door and leave it till later. But what are we turning this later into? And wouldn't it be better to just do it now? As someone who considers themselves a minimalist, you might think that I'm doing hard work to keep my possessions to a lighter and more functional level. But the truth is, if the decision about what I have, what I want, and what I need are made when they're babies, mere ideas, or just a sudden urge, the work is actually quite easy. And it's a pleasure. Constant, honest, but easy. It's when we look away from those tiny feelings and reciprocal decisions that the challenges and choices can get really hard, really intense, and possibly much scarier than they need to be. And when we feel this way, it can be hard to be spur of the moment or easy breezy. Simple things become challenging, and doing nothing can seem like the safest decision. Not deciding becomes the default decision, and things continue to grow. When you decide to become a minimalist, the most important first step, I believe, is to ask yourself, what do I want for myself in my life? What matters and who matters to me? How do I want to fill my days? What do I want to accomplish? And then, what can I do to make these desires as easy as possible for me to make a reality? In my life, what I want is the ability to have a calm, soft day with silence and solitude. I want walks and nature and to climb mountains or walls 3 times a week. I want the possessions that actively make my life more fulfilling and more enjoyable. And I want nothing in the way of these things. I don't want the mindless peripherals pulling me off my chosen track. Nothing hiding me from the things I love. So what does the life that you want look like for you? And what's the first tiny decision that will get us closer? Thank you guys so much for listening to my thoughts. Please, if you're so inclined, like and subscribe. And thank you so much for going on the journey with me. Talk to you next week. Bye.
I'll let you go, just need some time. At your own pace, you need to find your way.